All right. Well, I'm glad that everybody is here and able to join Sue and I tonight for this class on essential oils for pets. Sue and I are both huge animal lovers, and we have a very, very special place in our hearts for essential oils and Young Living. And that has just expanded into our pets also. Most people, are aware of essential oils, and, they've been around for a very, very long time. And, they're wonderful for aromatherapy. And with the growing awareness of wellness and health these days, and essential oils are an extension of that and really becoming, much more popular. And there is, some concern or, questions around whether or not they're, also safe to use with our pets. And, so tonight, Sue and I are going to share a little bit about what we've learned with essential oils and how we can incorporate them into our pets' lives and, to help with, their wellness and, their overall support. We're not experts. We are not doctors or veterinarians. We're not here to diagnose or treat anything. We're just sharing what we've learned and what we've experienced ourselves. And it's really for informational purposes. We're not, recommending that you do something in particular with your animals. We're just providing information and our experiences. And, we encourage you to do research on your own and to, speak to your veterinarians. You can with she's oils, but she is very, very amazed and happy with how my animals have reacted to the essential oils and how much they've helped them. But as we all know, the doctors, including veterinarians, are not encouraged to pursue natural paths. So that is one thing that
it's all about the dollar.
You need to keep in mind. And so just a little bit background on me. I've been involved in Young Living overall for probably about 6 years. But I have really, it's been, I guess, the last maybe 2.5 years that I have really been much more immersed in it and really using it on a daily basis and in almost every aspect of my life. My first introduction into Young Living was the essential oil blend M-Grain for my and I don't like taking medicines. I work in pharmaceutical. I don't like taking medicines at all.
Nope.
I try to avoid it whenever possible. And a friend of mine gave me M-Grain to try, and I was amazed. It has been a complete lifesaver for me. I am literally never without it. So for the last 6 years, I have never been without my M-Grain. And not to say that it works every single time for every single headache or every migraine, but it has made a huge difference in my life for my migraines. And as I've gotten, more into the oils, I have had asthma all my life. My asthma is almost non-existent after diffusing lavender, lemon, and peppermint. Lemon is a natural antihistamine. And the purity of these oils and diffusing them regularly and having them, basically absorbed into my cells, it has helped tremendously with my asthma. I can't sleep without lavender and cedarwood diffusing anymore. There are so many things that I have really come to rely on these oils and the various supplements for my overall support. And, so I am just a really, really big fan. So that's just, some of my background, and Sue can tell you a little bit about herself and her experiences.
Absolutely. I first tried essential oils about 8 years ago. I bought a couple bottles, but never had the education. No one ever told me what to do with them. So they sat in the closet and I never used them again. They were not Young Living oils. If I would have known then what I know now, I would not have gotten them. But that's a story for another day. My journey with essential oils really began about last year sometime. It began with our dog trainer. We have a very high anxiety dog, and he's terrified of thunderstorms, firecrackers, gunshots. I live in the country, so we hear gunshots a lot, and terrible separation anxiety. So our dog trainer suggested that we get a diffuser, and we diffuse a product by Young Living called Tea Away, which is from the animal scents line. So he also said lavender might work as well. So I knew that my friend Danny had been into oils for some time, and I reached out to her and I said, hey, can I order some Tea Away and some lavender? And you know what? Let me get a peppermint while we're at it, because I was going through chemo at the time, and I knew that peppermint was supposed to help nausea. I think Danny had told me that. So I ordered them, and I think I bought a diffuser separately. Probably should have just dove in and gotten this premium starter kit, but nobody ever accused me of being too smart. So we get the diffuser and we start diffusing the Tea Away for Cruz, and we were amazed at the difference. He wasn't panting the way he was before. He wasn't pacing the way he was before. It made an incredible difference for him. When we ran out of the Tea Away, we used some of the lavender, and I had to order more. And I mentioned I was going through chemo at the time, so they gave me plenty of drugs to deal with nausea, but a lot of the drugs, you take it and you get knocked out for the next few hours. And I didn't want that. I didn't want to completely sleep my months away while I was going through chemo. So I started to bring the peppermint with me when I went for my chemo, and then in the side effect period for about 10 days after. And when I would start to feel nauseous, I would just sniff the bottle. I was completely floored at how quickly it helped me with the nausea. I was sold. So, of course, the researcher in me, I start researching all these things and bugging Danny 45 times a day and asking her questions. And the more I started to use oils and the more areas of my life I started to use them in, the more I was just completely blown away, and really got me thinking, God put all these oils on this earth for us. He put these plants here for us, for medicine, for healing, for food. And we as humans went and screwed it up. I have a story with my asthma similar to Danny. About 2 months ago, I lost one of my inhalers somewhere in the house, and it's a $250 inhaler. That was one of two that I was on. Couldn't find it. So I'm like, I have all these oils here. Let me see if that'll work. Well, instead of taking my inhalers, I started using Breathe Again, which is a blend from Young Living, and all I would do is snip it from the bottle, or if it were a little tight, I'd put some directly on my chest. 2 months later, I am completely off inhalers. 2 inhalers that I took for 25 years. I'm saving over $300 a month, and I'm using an all-natural method. And the funny thing is, I hardly ever need to breathe again anymore. So I keep it with me in case I need that support. But for the most part, I don't even need it anymore. I think my body was addicted to the chemicals in the inhalers because the longer I went without being on them and relied on the breathe again, the better I was. So, of course, that lends itself to starting to use them with our pets. I have 5 cats and a dog. And yes, Heather, addiction is real. And even just something like inhalers, crazy. But so that was my story. And I'm continuing to evolve and use oils and supplements, learning so much about the wellness in every area, from emotions. I've got my diffuser going now with joy and valor. And it's just amazing, just amazing how they work. But so while we dive in to talk about our animals, I want to start with a little bit of history. So certain texts that date back hundreds of years reference using plant extracts on animals. There are one doctor in particular, Dr. Louis Sevelinge. He generally gets credited with developing veterinarian aromatherapy, and that's about the 1940s. In 1993, a French veterinarian named Nelly Grosjean wrote the first book dedicated to the use of essential oils with animals. Now, most of those, if you look up on the internet, you're going to see those 2 names associated with aromatherapy for animals and specifically for pets. But there's a woman who came along, her name is Caroline Ingraham, and she began extensively studying the use of essential oils alongside veterinarians. And she developed an incredibly safe and effective method that's known as, you ready for this one? Zoopharmacognosy. And basically, translated from the Greek, when you pull out all the root words, it means animal medicine knowledge. So this method states that there's an innate ability in animals to know what they need for their own health. So just kind of give me unmute yourself or type in the chat and let me know who invited you to this class and what type of pets you have before we dive into the real fun stuff. Anybody?
Me.
Okay.
Hi. Well, obviously, my mother, Danielle, and you, of course. And I have a ridiculously hyper yellow lab and a very sassy cat. So those are my 2 babies.
That's for sure.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah, she's something else.
Awesome. Yeah, they have their personalities. And as soon as you said yellow lab, Hyper comes with that. So,
So he's Jack times 10.
oh boy.
Yeah. And we all know how crazy Jack was.
Yes. We love Jack though.
He was a good boy.
He was the best boy.
He
He
was.
was.
What about you, Heather or Dawn, or I see Sue and Natalie there?
Here.
Anybody else?
I'm here in the mountains with my pet deer.
My goodness.
Oh my goodness.
They come visit me. I live in the middle of the mountains, so they have no excuse but to say hi. But no, in all reality, I have a 15-year-old mixed breed dog, and she, you know, I use the shampoo on her, so I can show you her, but she's old, so I like to take care of her health. This is
Absolutely.
Oh.
Baby.
Hi.
Oh, she's adorable.
Yeah. So got the shampoo, but I want to learn more about what else Young Living has.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Anybody else?
Yeah. I have a 13-year-old golden retriever,
Oh, Chasey.
and I've got 4 cats. And I use the oils on all of them.
Yeah.
And, we'll dive into a little bit more on essential oils, and particularly with cats.
Right.
There's just a little sensitivities, but they are perfectly safe with the cats. I use them on them. I diffuse them. So we'll get into more about that.
Awesome. Sue and Natalie, I don't know if it's Sue or Natalie, they just commented they can't get their camera to work, but they have a Roddy Lab mix and 3 cats. So it looks like we've got a lot of cats and dogs and deer represented here today.
That is awesome, Heather. I love it. Right. All right.
Hold on, I'm going to say
think,
something.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Dawn. I don't have any pets. I'm here to learn.
Oh my goodness.
But welcome, Bree.
Hi, Bree.
She's crazy. Hi, she's crazy and hyper.
Oh, what kind of dog?
She's a Bichon poodle.
Oh my goodness, they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. So awesome. Nice
So
to
she's
meet you,
listening
Bree.
too, because she's just starting out in oils, and if there's something that can help her Bichon poodle, we'll help her. We just made a cramps
Awesome.
roller, and we also are giving. I just showed Bree all your posts on Endoflex and Progressive Plus. She's gonna give it to her mom.
I love Endoflex.
Wonderful.
So sorry about that, but we are listening.
Oh, no, that's cool.
Wonderful.
All right, Danny.
All right. Well, so I think everybody here is familiar with essential oils in general. But, just what really are essential oils? They are basically a secondary metabolite produced by plants that is part of their health and defense system. And so when we inhale these or absorb them in our skin, they're affecting our limbic system in our brain. And our limbic system, as most people know, it's where our emotions, memory, and a lot of the regulatory functions of our body are found. And so basically, when we're inhaling these oils or, absorbing them into our skin, they're simultaneously working on our emotions and physically. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate to how emotions play a big part in our physical well-being.
Absolutely.
I know, I notice a difference, if I'm not in a good mood or, sad or, a little depressed about something, I physically don't feel well, so it's really all tied together. And so essential oils have really helped me emotionally and physically at the same time. There are so many different ones that we can use for different things. And it's just really, really been a major game changer in my life.
Absolutely. So I mentioned this big fancy word before that I could barely say, that zoopharmacognosy. So how does applied zoopharmacognosy work? So this method, and I mentioned before that it's pretty much based on the idea that animals know what they need. So when you're working with essential oils, use their natural instinct to choose what products they prefer. I know, for example, if I use my Tranquil roller on my wrists, my dog goes the other direction. So he doesn't like that smell. But yet, if I open up Stress Away, he can't get enough of it. So use your animal as a guide. If they don't like something, they're going to tell you. If they like it, they're going to tell you that too. And not only is it safe and effective to do it this way because they'll repel something that they don't like, it also will help strengthen the bond between you and your pet. They know you're not doing anything that's going to harm them, or you know, you're giving them something they like when they're attracted to those good smells, and they walk away from things they don't like. So you allow the animal to choose in a way. I'm not going to force Tranquil Roll-On on my dog because he can't stand the smell. You want to look for something that's a positive sign. Either they don't walk away if you're diffusing something, or they get closer if they really like something. And whenever you see your dog, like I put stress away, like on his flank or behind his ears to help him a little bit with the stress. If he licks it, I know he likes it, and that's good. He's, it's something that he likes, but he won't come near me, so he's certainly not going to lick me when I have Tranquil on. But if you see any indication of sniffing or getting closer or licking, then that's a pretty good indication that the dog specifically, cats are a little bit different, but that they like it. And any negative reactions, such as walking away, barking, sneezing even, you would know that that's probably not something that your animal likes. Dawn commented that it's a good point to put the oils on your body first to see how your pets react, to determine indications if they tolerate them. Like I said, like with Tranquil, my dog runs the other direction. But yet, and Heather mentioned that her dog lays by the diffuser. A lot of times mine will, but there are certain blends that he's like, yeah, no thanks, Mom. And he's going to step out of the room. But it's really important that when you do diffuse around your pet, that they have a way out. If they are offended by the scent, if they don't like it, that they can walk out of the room if they don't like it, or get away from the immediate area of it. Anyway, don't force an essential oil on your animal if they really have a negative reaction to it. That's just, not good for them. It's not good for your bond. I'm going to share a link in a little bit that gives an example of this negative positive reaction of oils in animals, and you can watch it after the class. But have you ever experienced your pets doing this with other things? For example, like dogs eat grass when they have upset stomachs. So what other way have you seen your dog or cat or deer kind of take care of themselves? They know what their body needs. Have you ever seen an example of that? I don't know. That's the only one I can think of. Anybody have any others?
Like scratching and running away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Running away, yeah.
She does that.
Absolutely.
Can you figure out what you're doing, Mom?
Yeah, well, I know my one cat, Sydney, I think she's pretty much an anomaly. She likes everything that she's not supposed to.
Yeah.
She is absolutely obsessed with mint. She doesn't do it so much anymore because I don't think she likes the Thieves toothpaste. But when I was using regular toothpaste, years ago, she would be up on the counter and like trying to take my toothbrush out of my hand to eat the toothpaste. And I used to use Wen shampoo or the cleansing conditioner. And it was a sweet mint scent. She would attack my head when I would get out of the shower. And she'd literally grab me and she'd be running her face all in my hair. She's completely nuts. So I do have to keep some of the oils away from her,
right,
like the peppermint and cinnamon and wintergreen and things like that,
right,
that could potentially be dangerous.
Right.
you know, so
Mhm.
I'd have to keep those far away from her. But when I diffuse, she will be right around there.
Mhm.
You
Oh
know,
my goodness.
she loves it. She's crazy.
My goodness. Danny, were you, I think you're going to share a little bit about horses and dogs and cats. Oh my.
Yeah. Pretty much most animals can benefit from essential oils in one way or another. Horses tend to respond really, really well to essential oils. They're herbivores, and their metabolic pathways break down most essential oils very well, so they can really get the benefits from them. And they generally tend to prefer inhalation and licking. So, like if you put it on their, legs or their hooves, they will just, lick it off and, get it into their bodies that way. And dogs are very similar. They prefer the inhalation, the diffusing. My dog absolutely loves it when I diffuse lavender and cedarwood at night. He will be right next to my bed, right there. And it's funny because he will be laying over by the door until I put that on. And then when he can start to smell it, he's right there and he lays underneath like all night. He absolutely loves it. Cats, you have to be a little bit more careful with essential oils, particularly when they are undiluted. They don't have the metabolic pathways to break down some of the essential oils. Some of the ones that you need to be really, really careful about are the citrus oils, lemon and grapefruit and lime, bergamot, a lot of the herbs such as oregano, basil, thyme, eucalyptus, wintergreen, peppermint, cinnamons, and tea tree. Those are ones that just need to be very diluted. But one of the ways that it's really easy for it to be diluted is diffusing, because you're only putting a couple drops in the water and it's, evaporating in the air, so generally diffusing is very, very safe around cats. I have been diffusing around my cats and my dog for over 6 years, and I don't think there is any of the Young Living oils that I haven't really diffused around them. And, nobody has had any kind of adverse reactions, except if they obviously don't like something, they'll just walk away from it. But like I mentioned with Sydney, she's kind of crazy. She will sit right there next to it and be like,
They're so funny.
and that, Caitlin, you know what a nut she is.
Well, Molly's been starting to do the same thing. She likes the lemon a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to be really careful because that's what she was doing when I diffuse it in my kitchen. She jumps up on my counters and she sticks her face in it.
They're so funny.
Yeah,
they all have their personalities. And like Dawn commented that it's funny that your dog loves the lavender and cedarwood, but mine runs the other way because that's what's in the tranquil. So there's a few rules of thumb. I don't know. I only have 2 thumbs, but there's a couple more rules. When it comes to using essential oils with your animals, because they're covered in hair, generally the ones that we're talking about tonight, so they have a lot more hair follicles, so they have an increased rate and amount of absorption. So you generally want to dilute, as Danny had mentioned, when using some of the oils, particularly the hotter oils on your pets. Err on the cautious side. Cats have generally a carrier oil dilution of around 8 drops of carrier oil to 1 drop of essential oil. And dogs under 25 pounds should have about 5 drops of carrier oil to 1 drop of essential oil. Now, I have a big dog. He's 96 pounds. Sometimes I will dilute, but I don't always dilute with him. He tends to tolerate most of the oils pretty well. Another rule of thumb is to listen to your animal. We talked about this a little bit before. If you're going to be diffusing around your pets, make sure that they can walk away in another room, or at least that you have a window open to bring in that fresh air if it bothers them. Do you know any cat that's going to stay put when they don't like something that's going on? You know, most cats are just going to go the other way. And it's a good thing to be cautious. Well, except for Sydney, but you know.
Yeah.
So the 3 most important things when being cautious on behalf of your pet when using your oils are to check the quality of the oil. And I know Danny's going to talk about that in a minute, but not all oils are created equal. 2, let your pet choose. So if they're really offended by the oil, we talked before, that's not something you want to use on them. And 3, providing an out so they can walk out of the room or get away if they're not vibing with that particular oil or blend that you're using. So quality, choose, and out. Those are the 3 rules of thumb. I have 2 thumbs. So if you're already using oils, and I think most of the people on this call are, tell us some oil that you like to use on your pet.
Mm-hmm.
I know Heather she liked it. Shampoo. Here's one of my Rodden ones.
Come on, you want to come up? I use lavender on Duke a lot. Especially when the weather changes too, he chews at his feet. And as soon as I started using that, that's been helping him a lot with the less chewing.
Great. That's a stress. You know, they tend to chew like that when they're stressed. Yeah, that's great. Anybody else want to share? Okay, Danny.
Well, I have a very, very long list of products that I use with my animals. Chase, since he's gotten older and he's not hearing as well, it's not quite as bad. But I used to use the TOA with him whenever there was a thunderstorm. He hates thunderstorms.
Yeah.
And it would literally be the only time he would ever jump up on my bed is when there was a thunderstorm. And I started using TOA on him when, there was the weather forecast that there were going to be storms. I would put a couple drops of TOA in my hands, just rub it together really lightly, and then just rub like his ears and his face and his neck. And he did not freak out. He wasn't like jumping up on my bed next to me going, "Mommy, save me."
Yeah.
It really, really had just helped calm him so much. I use the Animal Sense ointment all the time. In the winter, when the pads of his feet, get really, really dry and they start, getting cracked, I put it on his paws and it's wonderful. It's absolutely fantastic. I use the Animal Sense shampoo on him also. We have a mobile groomer that comes here, and I give them the Animal Sense, and that's what I have them wash him with instead of the stuff that they usually use.
I love it. I love both
there's
of them.
just so, there's so many. One of the really big lifesavers for us and for him, he's had multiple tumors, skin tumors, and a couple of years ago we had a couple cancerous tumors surgically removed, and then after I had 2 very expensive surgeries to have them removed. Another one started popping up, and I decided to try oils on him, and they worked. I was absolutely amazed. I have the animal's desk reference from Life Sciences, and I made a roller that I would roll on him a couple times a day. And he's, as most animals, particularly dogs, get older, they'll get these little fatty deposits all over their bodies. And generally they're benign, but his had started to turn black and cancerous. And that's why they were removed. But then after the 2 surgeries, he started developing another one, probably like 6 or 7 months later. And I decided to use the oils. I looked up some of the oils that have anti-cancer and anti-tumor properties. And I just made a blend, and it made it go away.
Yeah.
It stopped turning black. The tissue was normal again. I was amazed. My vet could not believe it. And when I told her that I was doing this, she was not happy with me. She really was not happy with me. She was, lecturing me about, how dangerous they can be, but it worked.
Heather,
and he's had several more since then, and they've gone away.
Heather just asked, which oils did you use for the cancerous tumors?
There are a whole bunch of them, and I just used the ones that I had, but some of the ones that are anti-cancer and anti-tumor are ledum, frankincense, clove, clary sage, cumin, copaiba, fennel, geranium, German chamomile, grapefruit's a big one, melissa, myrrh, peppermint, rosemary, the sandalwoods, Idaho balsam fir, and I still just make blends, when I need to refill the roller. I just use any from these that I have. And I mean, it's really been miraculous. And I've also, this is a blend that I did that I put about 10 drops in his food every day.
Wow.
So he gets this every day. And then I just use the roller if I start noticing.
Right, one of the tunes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
So, I mean, these have just been a lifesaver for us.
Awesome. I mentioned a little bit ago about watch for the quality of the oils that you buy. I mean, most people here, I think, are familiar with Young Living, but you just give us a little primer on why Young Living has the highest quality oils.
Yeah. We all know it's really just like any other product. Not all products are created equal. There are things that are higher quality, and there are others that are lower quality. And Young Living's seed to seal guarantee really is amazing. And it's something that I trust 100%. I believe in these oils. I've seen the difference that they make in me, in my animal, and my animals, as my daughter can attest, they're like my children.
Sure are.
So I'm only going to use what I completely trust and believe in on them. But with the seed to seal, what that really means is that the plants and trees and flowers that are used for these oils, they're grown on corporately owned farms. So Young Living owns the farms, and the ones that they don't own, they only partner with very, very carefully vetted farms that anybody can visit. Anybody can go to the Young Living farms or their partner farms and see for themselves, what is going on there, and what their practices are. And these farms are sustainable. They use sustainable sourcing. They provide the purest oils. No pesticides are used, which is huge. Just like when we buy organic vegetables and fruits, we don't want that stuff in our bodies. We don't want oil contaminated with pesticides and chemicals and, the toxic fertilizers and things that so many companies use. Young Living really, really takes a lot of care to preserve and protect all of the natural resources that are on their farms. They make sure that the oils retain their natural constituents and, the therapeutic properties that they have. And they don't water them down. They are very pure, they're concentrated, and we know what we're getting with Young Living. Our Young Living does not use solvents to distill and extract the essential oils, which is what the majority of companies do. So we know that we're not getting any of those extra chemicals in there. I really, can't say enough about, Young Living and, how important it is to them for their products to be pure and reliable. The testing on every single batch of every type of oil that's done is tested both internally and by third-party facilities. And I'm pretty sure if something is not right, that entire batch is trashed. It doesn't get bottled. It doesn't get into people's hands unless it is completely passing their quality controls and testing.
Yeah.
We don't get it.
Right. They'd rather go out of stock than to sell a substandard product.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Right. And that's one of the reasons, that, sometimes things do go out of stock is because something wasn't right and they're not going to put it out there to save a couple bucks. But really what all of this comes down to is the seed to seal guarantee is really the highest standard you can have in the essential oil industry. And nobody else has it but Young Living.
No.
Is there anything in here that I was just talking about that surprised you or you maybe weren't aware of with any of the seed to seal, what that really encompasses?
Something was new to me. I'm aware of steam distillation using solvents, but I wasn't aware that Young Living did not do that. So that is just another amazing reason to continue to use these products, though.
Yeah.
Once you guys get to visit the farms, you'll see start to finish. It's incredible. Anybody can go see a farm. As long as you're a Young Living member, you can go. but you will both, everybody will be there one day. I know every person on this call will be. It's incredible.
Can't wait.
You can go anytime
I
as a
can't
member,
wait.
but they've actually sent me twice, and then I've gone on my own twice. So in the last 4 years, it really opens your eyes to so many things that you never knew or even would think to ask about. But seeing the distillation process and smelling it and seeing all the branches and everything going into these big tubs, and then the water comes up and they collect the oil, and the steam goes out and the oils all collect up here, and it's just incredible. And the third party testing, you see so much that it really puts the whole seed to seal in perspective, and knowing what other companies just, I think of a tea bag example. You know, you can make multiple batches of tea with one tea bag, but only the first one's going to be the best and strongest. And you have to know where the tea leaves came from, where, you know, it's all related. So it's really cool. I really can't wait. If this COVID didn't happen, we would have been there. We were going at convention in Utah, Salt Lake City, when they have convention. And I know Danny was going, and I'm sure Sue, you would go, and Sue and Natalie, and Heather, you're going to come, and Caitlin, you're going to come.
Yes.
It's really, really fun. And you just take a bus out to the farms and they show you everything. It's really, really cool. It's like going back in time a little bit. Oh, Heather, I've been to the farm in Idaho. That's where they do, Melissa, St. Marie's, Idaho. So I sent my husband and I there August of 2019. And then September of 2018 was the lavender fields. But
I did
Melissa in Idaho. Is that near you?
Yeah. I don't think it's close to me. It's probably a few hours because I'm kind of north in the mountains. I think it's further south from me, but I'll definitely make the trip to see it.
Yeah.
So they had us staying in, I used to call it Spokane, but I was corrected. It's Spokane, Washington. And then we took the bus to Idaho. So it wasn't that far, but it's beautiful. It's just beyond beautiful.
I cannot wait to visit the farms.
It'll happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to talk a little bit now about some specific oils and specific products to use with your pets. And the first is one that's probably not new to anyone, and that is lavender. And lavender is often referred to as the Swiss Army knife of oils because it does just about everything. It's fabulous for your skin. It's great before going outside. It's one of those that are included in that allergy powerhouse blend that Danny mentioned before, lavender, lemon, and peppermint. And you can use it on your pet. It's safe for your pets. Kate mentioned that she used it with great success with her dog, who's a little bit hyper. But here's a little DIY hack for you. You can make your own skin soothing essential oil gel recipe to use on your pet. So really great if they get a little laceration, or, you know, like I live out in the middle of nowhere. He sometimes gets caught on a stick or something, but you want to put about 50 milliliters. So you'd have to use a measuring cup that has the milliliters on it of water-based gel. So like an aloe vera gel would be a good one. I use the organic one. 5 to 20 drops of essential oils, depending on the blend that you're using. And again, we talked about heavier dilution for cats than you would for dogs, but a maximum of 5 different oils. Definitely you want to put lavender in there. I'd probably put lavender as the only oil, or one of the only oils for the dog to try, and then whisk it all together. And it's just a great little gel that's going to help soothe any cuts they have, any scrapes, if they have a rash. I know my dog is white on his belly, and you can see when he scratches and gets really red. This will soothe it for them and be all natural, and you're not adding chemicals to them. So you can put this gel on their sensitive areas, and you can even use it for calming. So before they have a noise event like thunderstorms or fireworks, if that freaks them out, because it has the lavender in it, it's going to calm them down too. So lavender is one you definitely want to use on your pets. It's safe, it's amazing, and can be used for so many things. Danny?
Another or a couple other really great oils for pets are cedarwood, geranium, and frankincense. You know, as I mentioned, Chase really loves the lavender and cedarwood together. But the cedarwood can be, you know, very calming and grounding for them, just like it is for us. Frankincense, the same thing. It can be very soothing to the skin. There are a couple things that these three oils are fantastic for. You can make a DIY insect repellent collar for them. You can use lavender, cedarwood, geranium, frankincense, and you can also add citronella. And you can just mix up a little batch of this in a bowl and soak your pet's collar in it, and then let it dry, take it out, let it dry out, and then just put the collar on, and you've got an all natural flea collar. You can also make a spray with it, you know, using those same oils and a little splash of witch hazel and some water in a little spray bottle and spritz them, you know, before they go outside. And, you know, those oils are also really good for their skin. So, you know, in their hair, it's going to moisturize their hair. It's going to moisturize their skin, you know, so if they're having any kind of, you know, itchy, dry skin issues or, you know, bug bites, those oils will really help with that as well. Is there anything that you would normally use to put on your pets for insect repellent?
Cedarwood I've used.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't used anything yet.
You will be.
Yeah.
Now I will be.
The
Now I'll just come to
insect
your oil
Making you
room
a spray.
and make everything I need.
Yeah.
The Young Living insect repellent that's already made up is labeled for pets too.
Oh, great. I did not know that. That's awesome.
Yeah. And I've actually rubbed Chase down a couple times last season with the wipes. You know, when I hadn't had the spray mixed up, I would just grab one of the wipes and wipe him down real quick and send him out.
Now, are those good for ticks too? Like to repel the ticks? Because that's a problem that we're having with Doof, especially when the weather's changing. Last year, he came in with about 4 for all of last year, and we didn't notice them until they were huge. So we have a little bit of a tick problem by us.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll definitely make you up a spray and get you the wipes, because that's you know, nice and quick that you can do. And if you're, you know, if you have him out somewhere, you know, you can just take the wipes with you and use them on yourself and use them on him.
That is a
Absolutely
fabulous idea.
The geranium in the wipes and the geranium in the spray is what is the tick repellent mostly.
Amazing.
And actually in our East Coast Essentials group, there's a video of somebody that made a circle on a piece of paper of the insect repellent.
And they put that last year.
They put a tick in the middle, and the thing, it wouldn't cry, it couldn't get out.
Really?
So I'll try to try
that.
I'll try to
I
try
like that.
it.
Yeah.
Very cool. Awesome. Thank you, Danny. I get to talk about one of my favorite oils, and it is Citrus Fresh. I went through an entire bottle of this today. Not with my dog, but with my laundry. I absolutely love the way it smells, so I put it on my dryer balls. I put it in with my laundry detergent, and I had a whole lot of laundry today because we were away last week. So I ended up going through the whole bottle, but it smells so good. It's relaxing, it's calming. Think about it like citrus with a hint of mint. I just want to lick it. It just smells so good. But if you have that dog or cat smell, they get it. And, particularly where you keep the litter box, that can get a little stinky. This is amazing to diffuse around the litter box, or when you have company coming over and you get nose blind, like the commercial says, you don't smell it, but it's probably there. Because the citrus is purifying to the air, as is the mint. You can also make a spray with it. Danny mentioned about making a spray before, but you can put a little bit of water and witch hazel and about 20 drops of Citrus Fresh and spray the air like a natural room air freshener. But the cats tend not to like this, except if they're crazy like Sammy. But you can use that to your advantage if you want to spray it like on your furniture or around your furniture. It would keep the cats off of there. So that's kind of a little bonus there. This has several different oils in it. It has orange, which is supposed to bring peace and happiness to the body system. It has tangerine, which is calming to the nervous system. Got to check my little notes here. The next one. Mandarin promotes happiness, and it's also refreshing, uplifting, revitalizing. It just smells so good. Just puts you in a good mood when you smell it. Grapefruit is balancing and uplifting. Lemon, we talked about. It promotes health and physical energy. It is an anti-mucolytic. It's an antihistamine. It's a whole lot of other really great things for you, lemon. And spearmint is also uplifting. So it's going to put you in a good mood, and it's going to get rid of those funky odors that we get because we love our fur babies. So Citrus Fresh is a must-have. It's all yours, my friend.
Yeah. To your point, Sue, about diffusing it around the litter boxes, it is fantastic for that. But one other thing that I really like to use the Citrus Fresh for is my cat, Sammy. He wants to go outside, but he's not allowed. And he can get a little spiteful sometimes. And I made up a spray of the Citrus Fresh, and, I'll clean it up and spray with the Citrus Fresh, and he won't go near that area again for a very long time.
It's amazing, isn't it?
So if you have any kind of spraying issues with cats, it works really, really well.
Awesome. That is a great tip.
Stop Molly from scratching at my dining room table chairs.
You can try it.
Yeah.
Make a spray and spray the.
And just like people, we're not
the chairs. Yep.
Just like people, not every oil is going to work in the same way for everybody because we're all different. Pets are the same way, like you mentioned Sammy being an anomaly. Most cats don't like certain things, but Sammy does. But you could definitely try it. My cats, when I have sprayed Citrus Fresh around my furniture, they have stayed away until it kind of dissipates. And then that's what I know when I see them back on, right? It's time to respray. So it works for mine. All right. Danny, are you gonna, I think you're going to share a little bit about living.
I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit. Yeah, we've got an amazing line called Animal Sense. And there is a PuraClean. There is TOA that I talked about before. Mendwell for any kind of like little cuts and scrapes and, issues that they have, if they need some skin support. And we've got Infectaway that is good for, any kind of, little wounds or, scrapes and things like that to help them heal. And then, of course, there's the Animal Sense ointment that has a whole lot of these oils. It's, almost a combination of all of those oils in this really amazing base. And I actually use Animal Sense ointment for myself. Like if I actually have a pretty mild eczema, but I'll get little patches, and this stuff has worked fantastic, better than any other eczema creams that my doctor has prescribed for me. This is absolutely, the Animal Sense line is really, really fantastic.
Awesome.
Does anybody else use any of the Animal Sense products?
All of it.
Other than the shampoo?
Yep, all of it but the shampoo. Yeah, we really like the shampoo. Mm-hmm. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the shampoo smells so good.
I've used the Infectaway that you've made me, and the Tea Away too.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
She apparently wants to be in the spotlight all day.
Yeah. Well,
someone's in a good mood this evening.
Chat a little bit about.
It's her dinner time.
Yeah, Dawn uses the Animal Sense ointment for skin issues too. I'm going to have to give that a try. We're going to switch gears down, and we're talking about oils, but we're going to switch to supplements. And while the Young Living supplements aren't specifically labeled to be ingestible in animals, many Young Living members, including myself, I know Danny does, use the supplements with their pets. So I wouldn't give my pet anything I wouldn't take or use. And the supplements are just really fabulous for your pet's overall health and wellness. And no class on Young Living would be complete if we didn't talk about Ningxia Red. And this is one of the most popular and beloved products. It is made from the Ningxia wolfberry, which is a relative of the goji berry. It's the puree, and it's a wellness-supporting superfood. It has a extraordinarily high antioxidant rating. Antioxidants make the environment unfriendly for free radicals. And if you don't know about the effects of free radicals on your body, Google it. It's really important. And Ningxia Red, like our dose a day, my husband and I line them up. And this really is it's kept us probably for the first time in years where we did not have a cold, a flu, anything. My husband and I have not been sick this past year. So the dietary supplements that are in here, and it's oils, and it's the Ningxia Red, and it supports normal blood sugar levels. It provides support for normal eye health, cellular function, energy levels. So when you think about it, if it's doing all these great things for us, it's really going to do all those wonderful things for your pet. I usually take about a half a packet and squirt it in my dog's food and then put the other half in the fridge. The next day, I'll use the other half in there. He seems to like the Ningxia pretty well. Another one that we use with Cruz is Sulfurzyme, and these are the capsules. This has ingredients to help maintain the structure of proteins, to protect the cells and cell membranes, replenish the connections between cells, and preserve the molecular framework of connective tissue. I always put this in my dog's food. He does not notice it, and I usually just tuck it underneath his dry dog food. And I give him one a day, but it's really, really good for so many things with your pet. And the MSM is good for the joints and bones, and the Ningxia that it also has in the sulfurzyme is going to have the same antioxidant benefits that the Ningxia Red has. Another one that I know many people use with their pets is Omegagize. And this has 3 core daily supplements, omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin D3, and CoQ10. And these supplements combine with a blend of essential oils that's in here, and it gives you overall wellness support. Really good for brain, heart, eye, and joint health. I take these every day. I give to Cruz every day as well. And another one that's really good, I don't have the bottle here because I ran out and I donate all my empty pill and supplement bottles to my mother-in-law, who uses them for a ministry she's involved in. But another one is Agiles. So as we get older and, you know, our joints start to get arthritic, it happens to our pets too. And Agiles is a really great, safe supplement that you can give to your pets for any inflammation that they would have related to arthritis. It helps support healthy joints and muscles. So I give that also to Cruz. And if we don't have any, if it's out of stock, then I have given him the BLM. But I'm getting old and arthritic, and my dog is too. So he can take that, and we've seen really good results in him. And I've noticed that he's had a much easier time jumping up and jumping down off of things, going up and down the stairs with the Agiles. It just provides greater mobility and flexibility and really helps them with those sore and inflamed joints. Anybody here use Ningxia? Any Ningxia products or the Ningxia Red with your animals?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Chase gets it every day. Chase also gets Agiles. I give him multigreens every day. And he's been taking Juvatone for the last few months for liver support.
Right.
Because his last regular annual exam, his liver levels were a little bit high. Okay. And the vet said that it was most likely due to his diet, because he's on a raw food diet. He gets, we get the frozen little chicken patties that we thaw out before we give it to them, but it's not cooked. It's raw, and he eats it. And that much protein can, start to have a little bit effect on the liver. Right. And so I've been giving him the Juvatone, and his liver levels are perfect again.
Fantastic. Awesome.
Yeah. And like you,
just amazing.
With all my supplements.
Yeah.
Yeah, like with you, Sue, all my supplements for, arthritis and bone and joint support and everything. I'm taking them, and Chase is taking them.
Yep. Cruz and I take them together. Okay, it's time for it. All right. Well, Danny, I want to share a little bit about oral hygiene.
When we're talking about their overall wellness, we can't forget their oral hygiene as well. I know it's very difficult to brush your pet's teeth. I don't even try it with the cats anymore.
Nope.
It never went well. But you can use Dentarome Plus with your dogs. That is a Young Living toothpaste that is completely safe for them. The Dentarome Ultra and the Aroma Bright, they both contain xylitol, which is very toxic to animals. So you do not want to use the Dentarome Ultra or the Aroma Bright. Dentarome Plus is perfectly safe. Something else that you can do to help their oral health is put a little capful of the Thieves mouthwash in their water bowl, and Chase actually loves it. Yeah. 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 And it helps with bad breath. It, just like it helps us with the bacteria in our mouth and the gums and everything, they generally don't brush their teeth or have their teeth brushed. So that's even more important to help them kill that bacteria. Because, as we know, same with us, the plaque that can build up, that can cause heart problems.
Yeah.
Because it breaks off and will get into their bloodstream and, hurt their heart. So, putting some Thieves mouthwash in their water bowls is actually a really.
I'm going to have to start doing that to Duke.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try that in their water bowl here.
And I absolutely love the Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah. Does anybody have any success with brushing their pets' teeth?
I don't even try.
No, I can barely clip their nails without trouble, so. Well, as we wrap up.
Yeah, I don't attempt that with Chase.
As we wrap up, I think everybody who's on this call is already with or familiar with Young Living. But while we do not have a starter kit specific to pets yet, if it's something that you're interested in, you can put your own bundle together by getting a basic starter kit and then adding to it some of the products we talked about tonight, or even some of the Animal Sense line. You could get those items with a basic starter kit. And I know Danny and I would be happy to help you kind of figure out what you need for your pets and which would be the most important products to get your pet started on. Before we let everybody go, I am going to add that link for that I mentioned before with the animals' reactions to essential oils. And I'll share that here in the chat. And I'm also going to share a link to a 1-minute survey that is going to just ask you how you enjoyed tonight and just some general questions. It helps us get to know if we're doing our jobs well, if you're enjoying it and learning from it, and other things you might be interested in learning about. So if you fill out that survey, and I just clicked the link, it'll take you about a minute. Then a little bit later this evening, we'll take everyone who's completed it, put it in a random drawing, and send you all a very special gift for your pets. So before we go, does anybody have any questions? There you go. That's what
I will send you a bottle of TOA.
Woo! So does anybody have any questions for us? You're all beating down the doors answering questions. Well, if you're in East Coast Essentials, Danny and I hang out in there. You'll find us there. You can always ask us. We're happy to help. If it's something we don't know, then we'll try to find out and get back to you. We thank you so much for coming. And Danny, do you have anything to add?
Yep, I think you hit it all. Thank you everybody for being here and, being interested in, helping your pets naturally, because it's important for us. It's important for them too.
Absolutely.
Molly's very happy about what we learned today.
Well, good, Molly.
She's in a very good mood tonight.
She's in a good mood today. She's not normally like this.